Hey everyone, it's Ivory, and I have Matt on the line with me. What's up, Matt?
Hey, what's going on, man?
It's Friday. It's our podcast, and this is our regular conversation where we like to talk about men's issues and a host of other issues. And we have a special podcast today because we're going to be talking today about Mother's Day versus Father's Day. Controversial, right, Matt?
Yeah, yeah, definitely, definitely.
Well, let's get right into it, man. We have Mother's Day a few days from now, and I want to ask you a question before I start. Like, what was your first or most memorable Mother's Day that you enjoyed with your mom?
Man, I think as she got older, I would kind of buy her like little event, like she might want to go to like a concert, so it might be these like little things I would pay for, like event wise. So that's probably the most. I think this kind of getting her these little events that she probably wouldn't go to do herself, and just kind of give her those experiences, man. What about you?
Nice, bro. Nice. Likewise, I think for my mom, she really enjoyed church. My mom is a church going woman, and she loved to go to church. Then after church, go to dinner. So we would normally do church, dinner, flowers, gifts. Church, dinner, flowers, gifts. And I don't see that really changing much because now my mom is a little bit older,
Yeah.
but she really enjoyed just being with her family. My mom is a very family oriented person. She loves her family, and she just that's just how she is. So she just that's what we do for my mom, generally for Mother's Day.
I have a quick question too, man. What's your most memorable Father's Day?
Man, that's the issue. So as you know, like for me, I have a stepfather and I have my biological father. And for the most part, I lean more towards my stepfather because he spent the big chunk of my time in my life. He spent the big chunk of my time in my life doing things like taking us to school, right? Being a father in the home, like giving us some type of direction and guidance as an older man, and going to the football games, going to the graduations, and just being there, like the day to day stuff. So I remember my dad, my stepdad, on Father's Day being that kid. Like he kind of reminded me of that kid when you get it, when you get a gift, bro. Somebody gets you something for Christmas and you just super excited and
Yeah,
really happy. Like my father was that for us because he likes gifts. That's his love language is gifts, gift giving.
yeah, yeah.
So I bought him a drone for Father's Day, one of the Father's Day, and he always wanted a drone and he wanted to fly a drone over the neighborhood just to kind of just fly. I don't know why the neighborhood. He just wanted to fly it over the neighborhood.
Yeah.
And he had that drone, man. You would have thought that he had $1 million, bro. He was grateful for it. He was happy for it. He was appreciative. He just enjoyed just the gift that he had, bro. And that's something that was the most memorable to me, bro. But I got to throw that question back at you, bro. What about you, bro?
Now, real quick, I just want to say this, man. I mentioned stepdad quite a few times, man, and that dude is funny. I can see him. I can see him flying the drones right now. Got the drones. He just make that
Right?
sound. Yeah, with the
Yeah, very
drone.
very playful, animated, right?
Yeah. Honestly, for myself, I'm not even gonna lie, man. I don't even know if I ever really celebrated Father's Day.
Mm,
I don't even. I can't even remember a time that I did.
mm.
I'm not making this up. So so obviously I didn't really have a stepdad like that really. So I don't think we ever really did. And I mean, I know we talk about it more as we kind of get into it, but that might be one of the reasons why I think like, you know, um, like it wasn't part of something we did. I mean, I some of
Yeah.
it is I grew up Jehovah Witness. So even we probably didn't celebrate birthdays and Mother's Days to the extent that other people did. But even with Father's Day, I don't even remember doing really anything.
Wow, that's interesting, bro. Yeah, so let's hop right into that, bro. So we know we got Mother's Day coming up in the next couple of days, and it to be expected, mothers are going to get like it's kind of like this running bias. The Mother's Day is like the Super Bowl of celebrations for the parents or
Yeah.
the mothers, and then the Father's Day is kind of like this grim, like kind of like a almost hit or miss type thing. It's
Yeah.
not really that celebrated like that. So let's talk a little bit about that. Let me ask you a question. Why do you think Mother's Day is vastly, generally celebrated more so it is at Father's Day?
I mean, there's also some basic things. I mean, obviously, like generally speaking, your mom might, be the one that you probably have the most emotional bond with, right? Especially if she, wiped your tears, gave you hugs, things like that. So I think that's that's probably you might have that strong emotional bond, so you might want to go and do more things, right? And I think culturally, sometimes guys act like they don't really want anything and stuff like that. That's a very like basic surface answer, but I think what also really happens is you break down into it is that like I talked about my situation. I don't think I had a father that you celebrated Father's Day for. So if I don't have that model, then I'm not going to do it. Then I'm not going to be expecting certain things as well too. Because I think really what the issue is, even on Father's Day, obviously if you're not an active father, then you don't need to be celebrated. So I'm not making that argument. But I think there's too many good guys out there on Father's Day who just get nothing. And I think
Mm,
it's so I think part of it is just people grow up. It's not something that maybe they didn't have a father to really celebrate, so it's just not part of your day or what you do. And you just and then I think it's just even if you have a even if even if there's a somebody who is a good father, you just get used to coming to him with problems and not actually coming in with him with some support and gifts.
wow, wow. Yeah, you
what
said a
about you
lot in that, bro.
what about you, man? What's your thoughts?
Man, you know what? You said a lot to chew on, and that's a whole topic for another day. I would glean a little bit from what you said. So you're right. You see, it's easy to just focus on the guys who don't take care of their children and the guys who are just absentee fathers and just say, "Oh, well, yeah, of course, I don't remember Father's Day. Those guys don't deserve Father's Day, and they're trash and all that stuff." Got that, right? But let's talk about the good guys, the good fathers, the fathers that go hard for their children. They take care of their homes. They provide for the family. They have leadership. They're excellent leaders. They're successful men in their own right. The good fathers. We talk about. We want to focus on those. That's where I want to
Mhm.
focus at. I'm sure that's where you want to focus at, Matt.
Yep.
Those guys you mentioned is a couple things. Maybe they're not used to being celebrated and appreciated. They're always used to being problem solvers or people that dump problems on them and say, "Dad, Julie needs some new braces," or "Wife got issues." Everybody got issues, and the father is not celebrated because it's his day to celebrate Father's Day, but he's not going to get that celebration because he's used to giving back to the family. And
Mm.
you and I, we talk about this a lot, like getting to a place where as men, we allow ourselves to be celebrated. It's okay to
Mhm.
celebrate me. It's okay to say, okay, hey man, we're gonna celebrate. We're gonna celebrate you. This is the day we're gonna celebrate you. And I think for us, it's important to us to build our own self-esteem so where we're celebrating ourselves every single day. And then when you get days like Father's Day or your birthday, you can do some things off top. Like this is
Yeah.
what I like to do. We doing what I want to do, or we doing what Matt want to do. We're doing what we want to do because it's our day. So I think women are much more expressive in that way. Generally speaking, moms are much more expressive, where they go hard and sacrifice as well. They do well for the kids, but I think women are more like okay, yeah, I want this for Mother's Day. I like this for Mother's Day, or
Yeah.
and so it kind of get the child in their mind to think that, wow, you know what, mom will really like this. Mom will really want to go to this restaurant. Mom will really want to go to this trip. But dad don't really talk. I don't really know what's going on with dad. Maybe a tie. Give him the ugly Christmas sweater or something. You know what I'm saying?
No, no, you're right, man. And I would actually encourage the guys to just state what they want, even if they can't get it, because that way when you get it for yourself, everybody just shuts up. So say for instance, you say, "Hey, man, I want that. You know, um, I want the CA Corvette for Father's Day." Just say it over and over and over again. "Man, I want the CA Corvette for Father's Day." What you send in text messages? "I
Pound it
want
in
this.
there,
I
huh?
want this." Or "Hey, oh, this concert look good. I want this." Like just stating it in straight facts. Just say, "This is what I want." Just making it bold and loud. Like the family sitting there, y'all all playing Uno and stuff like that. Walk in, yeah. Oh, what I'm saying, you playing Uno, like, "Hey, don't forget, I'm saying, Dad want them baseball tickets front row. Just the price. Get it now while it's hot. What I'm saying? Put the pressure on them. So that way, you might sit here and say, "Hey, it's gonna come out of my wife's budget. They come out of mine. It's my day." So it's
Hmm.
like, so it's like I think also guys gotta be a little bit more used to being selfish because nobody's gonna celebrate you. And
Well, I would say this because you mentioned selfish. I would say just more self interest. Have your own self interest at heart. Like you still can give to the family. You still can be the man that you need to be. You could be the provider. All those things, but have your own self interest at heart. like plenty of times, and I know you can attest to this, Matt. Like
Yeah.
I see it with my own stepdad. I see my stepdad. He literally go hard for his family. He literally makes sure that everybody's taken care of, but himself. Sometimes he go without. I know
Yeah.
that's like a badge of honor for some people. Be like, well, as long as the kids got everything, I don't need much. Like I remember times that my stepdad would literally give the last dollar in his pocket, the last dollar he had in his pocket to us to do something like go to the movies, right? To go to the movies with
Yeah.
our friends. He'd say, you know what, here's $10, the last thing I got, have fun and enjoy yourself. But then you ask my dad and say, Dad, you know what, I know you like Batman. You want to go to the movies? Nah, I ain't even really got the money like that. And you like, man, you know what? Have your self-interest at heart. Like, and that's what I'm saying for me. I'm not a father yet, but I want to become a father. I'm learning how to have my self-interest at heart as well as the family's interest, but also have my include that with my self-interest.
Yeah. I mean, even for me, like I'm a stepdad, my stepdaughter's about 10. And one of the things I say, like, even when I talk about being selfish, what I mean by that, man, it's 365 days in a year, 366 days in a leap year. If you selfish on your birthday and Father's Day, man, 2 out of the 365 or 366 days out the year, bro, it's cool. Like, you know what I'm saying? If you say, it's cool, man. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of how I see it. And I completely agree with everything you saying as well, Ivory. Like I think what you said is extremely, extremely, extremely important. Extremely important. And,
Yeah, yeah.
and
Oh, go ahead, go ahead.
no, because you're right. Like a lot of guys will go without, and I will say this too. I think when you're in the right environments and the right cultures, um, it works a little bit better. But I also think too on Father's Day, sometimes guys just got to link up with each other and do stuff with themselves. Oh, it's Father's Day, man. Like politics and the fellas, man. It's our day, man. We gonna do our thing. You know what I'm saying? Not waiting for your family to coordinate stuff for you all the time. It's like, it's Father's Day. Where dad at, man? It's 10 o'clock. I didn't get him his, he out. He doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes guys got to kind of link up on Father's Day and do stuff with each other and celebrate each other.
Yeah, I absolutely agree with that, bro. And I know it's a foreign concept. Guys normally are they don't think in that way, but I think it's necessary in order to have some type of self-sustainment because being self-sustained because I mean, let's face it, man, we have a lot more stress on us
Yeah.
men today. We have to deal with a lot of issues that we have to go through. And to me, I just think it's a lot easier when you take care of yourself and not just sacrifice yourself like you're a sacrificial lamb. Because again, like I said, for Mother's Day, I've seen it, bro. You've seen it in the Black church. You've seen it in our community. Mother's Day, they go hard. That's like the Super Bowl
Yeah.
of holidays in our
It's good. Yeah.
culture or
Yeah.
whatever. And and you think about it, and mothers deserve it. Like a lot of moms, they
Yeah.
go hard. My mom, I would do anything for my mom. My mom is just one of those women that you want to celebrate. I just think that my dad didn't get that same love. He didn't get that same care. He didn't get that same veracity. He didn't get that same gift giving. He didn't get that same. And him and my mom did the same things for the family. I just think my dad, he just didn't get that from the kids versus my mom. My mom, they just went hard for her. But my dad, it was like, oh, that's dad. Oh, dad. Oh, here's a tie.
Yeah.
Here's a pair of shoes or something, but it wasn't no thought into it. And I think again, part of what you were saying, Matt,
Yeah.
just have an attitude of, well, I'm good. I want to make sure y'all good. Y'all enjoy yourselves. And two is just having a self care. Like I was mentioning,
Yeah.
having that self care to say, you know what, this is what I want. Like I know my dad. Like when I bought him that drone for his for one of the Father's Day, that man he still fly that drone. To this day, he still talk about the drone. He loved the drone, and that's all he could talk about. I'm flying my drone. I'm doing this and that
Mhm.
with the drone. And that's more conversation for us. But I'm like, Dad, it's okay to share what you want. Like I think
Yeah.
now he won't stop now. Now he want a new truck. He want this. So he kind of just like
Yeah.
sharing
Yeah.
everything
Yeah.
now, bro.
No, no, man. I think one of the things that I think about, man, one of the guys I'm real cool with, man, his name is Ron, one of my friends, and his dad, um, they bought a house in Detroit. He worked hard. I think he worked for the post office. And me and him would talk about it. Like he worked. Let's say he busts his behind, man. Um, for the house, and he even owned several different houses. So pretty much even some of his sisters would live in those houses too. So he'd come in, his sisters would be married. He'd come cut their grass. If they had some issues, he'd come over there. And I think he got old. He had dementia. Nobody wanted to deal with him. And his mom was a stay-at-home mom, and all the credit went to the mom.
Mm,
So
man.
he died. It was just like, so now when he died, his mom had a house, and some of his sisters and brothers still lived in the houses that he had already purchased. And nobody really gave him
Wow.
credit. Nobody really said, okay, we got this because of dad. They just didn't really respect it. And he said his dad was always angry. He was always
Mm,
stressed out and angry, and I think that probably led to it, right? Because he's doing all these different things. He's not getting any credit. And I think he was probably the mom, obviously made sure that the family was okay, but he was holding down the fort his own on his own side too, you know, and provided a basic level of protection that he never got credit for. And I also
mm.
think too, like, sometimes like, what you if you're a good dad and you take care of certain, like, parts of the household, it's not really like stuff that people see. They take it for granted, you know
Yeah, yeah.
they take it for granted, because I mean we see a lot of situations a lot of times where people are dating, and we don't really talk about dating a lot, where people kind of go out and date and not realize that their father was really a exceptional dude, and they go out here and they think they
Hmm.
do that, and they don't, and then they're surprised that, like, oh man, he doesn't, like, they're surprised that they date a guy, be like, oh man, he's not going to look out for me this way. He's not going to go without for me. Because then we're also entering a generation now where, you know, uh, g- you know, you know, good, bad, or indifferent, guys are way more selfish than they have been historically.
Yeah,
Way more
yeah.
selfish. And some of that is good. Sometimes some of it is bad. So I think what we're getting in
Hmm.
what we're getting into now is like, them kind of guys don't even exist. Less of those guys exist, and guys who really do take care of that, man, they really need to be celebrated, because you're not going to encourage more men to do that if there's no reward associated with it.
Yeah, I totally agree, bro. And to wrap this up, to put a nice bow on this, um, Mother's Day and Father's Day, Mother's Day versus Father's Day, is not like it has to be this whole battle between mom and dad. No, it's just women. The Mother's Day, generally speaking, it's all about the mom. It's the Super Bowl. It's a big event, a big deal. And for the dads, I'm talking about the good dads, good moms and good dads. We ain't talking about Dusties and all that other stuff. Good moms, good dads. They do what they're supposed to do. Mom gets celebrated, dad get appreciated, right? A little bit, right?
Mhm.
And why can't it be mom and celebrate? It's a Super Bowl for mom and it's a Super Bowl for dad. And we love and appreciate our parents together. And they both create add significant value to the family. And they both are celebrated for the contributions that they made in our lives. But we both give them that same energy, that same time, that same type of spirit of we appreciate you and we love you and we want to give you this day for you. So that's my 2 cents on that. Matt, you want to add your little time, your 2 cents on it, bro?
Yeah, I mean, I just kind of agree, kind of like just getting the proper respect, when it's due, because if you have a good dad and when he's not around, you feel that void. So celebrate it while you can, because when it's gone, it's gone.
Mm. Wow, man, great stuff, man. Good conversation. I hope you guys who have watched this, I hope you take something from this. Enjoy your Mother's Day that's coming up. For all the moms, shout out to the moms out here who are holding it down, taking care of the kids. Appreciate you guys, and we gotta do this again, Matt, for Father's Day, bro. We gotta come back on here, bro, and talk about Father's Day.
Yeah, we do.
All
Definitely.
right, man.
Okay,
All
take
right. Well, take care, everybody. Have a great Friday and happy Mother's Day again. And see you guys soon.
peace, man.